All right, so we're finally out here in the garden, and the number one thing we're going to get done is pruning up the tomatoes. So that'll really help their growth. But first things first, we do really have a lot of stuff to do. So as you can see, there's all the garlic scapes that we need to harvest, and then I'm going to go through, and then in these open spots, I'm not sure what's going on. We got some kind of helicopter or something flying around. There it is. Really low. So yeah, I don't know what that's about, but so what we're gonna do here with these baby tomatoes, and I think I still got a tray of tomatoes floating around here somewhere. So we're gonna go find all these like open spots. Like as you can see, we had some pepper dye there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down there. So you can see the strawberry patch has gotten taken over with weeds in the last couple days. So we got 5 spots for tomatoes here, and then I'm sure we'll find a bunch more. So that's kind of like the next phase of filling in tomatoes. And these are a different variety too. So they are San Marzano and I think Early Girl Hybrid. But yeah, and I'm just gonna let some of these tomatoes grow wild. Like this one's growing up with the onions here. And as you can see, the rice hulls really didn't block all the weeds. Obviously, we have a ton of weeds in our garden anyways, but definitely suppressed a lot, and it's a lot easier to see, what's weeds and what's not. So, overall, I think they're working okay, but, it's definitely going to make things easier just moving forward, adding a lot of organic matter back into the soil too. So yeah, basically I'm going to go through actually first and do some harvest. So like I said, I started off talking about the garlic scapes, which you can see here, and then the next thing would be, and here's that tray of tomatoes and basil. So I'm definitely going to get some more of that basil out, get it in a shady spot so that it doesn't bolt, and then here we got some bok choy. So that's probably getting pretty close to harvest too. Got some arugula here. It's looking pretty good. Some minor bug damage on some of the leaves, but not a big issue. Here's a tomato doing pretty swell in a root pouch. And these peppers are doing pretty all right also. So yeah, everything's growing great. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna harvest everything that I can. So probably just arugula, spinach, some kale, the rest of the radishes, pretty much all the stuff we did last time, plus the garlic scapes, and then arugula. So yeah, we got a good little harvest going, or good little grow going on here. Everything's starting to go in succession. And I didn't even see this stuff, but here we got some purple basil, and it's kind of was, couldn't see it against that dark soil, but yeah, definitely a lot of stuff going on. So, and as you can see, the spinach already bouncing back real quick over here. Swiss chard doing the same all down the line. So I think we picked the right crops, as far as like getting stuff that's going to return, time and time again. And, growing some of the stuff in the root pouches, like carrots in the root pouches, was a great idea. I don't know why I've never done it before, but, they're growing great, no matter if they're with a tomato or by themselves. So excited for that. Probably not a ton of carrots for everyone, but, at least getting to add some variety. And, as the season goes on, it's just going to get, that box is going to get heftier and heftier. So I'm going to go through harvest, and then we'll link back up to talk about pruning tomatoes. All right, so what's up everybody? We're out here in the garden about to prune up some tomatoes. So I'm just going to walk you through like the basics of that, and how you can get really big tomatoes, high yielding plant, all that stuff. So here's our tomato plant. This one's growing in a root trapper, which is just a fabric pot. But what you want to do when you prune is you want to start at the very bottom. So as you can see here, we got this branch coming out right at the bottom. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to try to get you in there. Okay, there we go. So you're going to just clip that off, toss it off to the side, and then definitely want to pick that up before we go. So then the next things that we're going to look for here, as you're going in, you know, this one's pretty low, so I'll probably clip that. And you can do this by hand too. It's small enough you can just pinch it off. And this is the key right here. So you see this is a branch right here. This is the main stem right here. And then you got this little guy coming out. What that's called is a sucker. And pinch that out. And what that's going to do is promote more upward growth. And basically this thing, so if you follow this sucker up, the reason it's called a sucker is because it's forming a plant head right there. So that's like a flower, like a flowering cluster. So the more you think, the more of those that you have, the more fruit you'll get, but really it's just going to drain the plant of energy. So having one single head, some people will do a double, but I really don't mess around with that. You know, just kind of go basic. So what we're going to do, come down in here, prune that sucker out. And then you can see all the way up, we've got suckers growing in the, you know, crotch of the branch and the main stem. So then basically what I'm going to do is just go around, and I think I've got like around 40 plants or so. So I'm going to go around all the tomatoes. You know, some of them are even crazier and, you know, definitely need staking. So this always seems to happen over on this area, but I've just got to get in there. You can see this thing's just a mess. So here's the top of it. And so got to get that guy staked up. I think I was having some trouble running stakes in the ground over there. So I'm probably going to have to get out a mallet. So definitely critical to, you know, get everything straightened up. It's interesting how the ones in the pouches over here are kind of growing, you know, upwards. And then the ones over here are, you know, kind of lazy. They want to grow on the ground. They've also, you know, had a lot more growth. So, you know, basically I'm going to get everything trained up, but, you know, hopefully helped out a little bit with the basics of pruning. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. But I'm going to get rocking on this and then head up to the garden up at my parents' house.